You wake up. It's early. The house is quiet. You splash some water on your face, pour yourself a strong coffee, and get straight to your day. No breakfast. Maybe a few almonds if you remember. But food? That can wait. You've got things to do. You feel like you're being efficient, light, in control. But here's what no one's told you, and I need you to hear it now, especially if you're over 60. Skipping breakfast might feel harmless, but it could be the hidden reason your circulation down there is disappearing. Yes, I'm talking about your morning wood. You see that subtle change you've noticed? The days you wake up with nothing. No firmness, no spark, just that quiet absence. Most men blame their age. It's just what happens, right? That's the lie. And here's the truth. Your body isn't betraying you. Your morning routine is. There's a critical window, right in that first hour after waking, when your blood vessels are most receptive, your hormones are shifting gears, and your body is either preparing to circulate blood powerfully or not at all. And what you do or don't do during that window sets the tone for the entire day. When you skip breakfast, you're not just delaying calories. You're triggering a hormonal storm. Cortisol spikes, blood vessels constrict, nitric oxide drops, and testosterone, your natural engine of vitality, gets confused. Your body assumes something is wrong. It goes into defense mode, not performance mode. And the first place that shows up? Your groin. Your ability to achieve or maintain a firm erection isn't just about desire, it's about blood flow. Smooth, steady, oxygen-rich circulation to an area full of tiny, sensitive vessels. Vessels that need support, not stress. Now, if you're like most men, you've probably never connected your morning coffee-only routine to the slow fade in your intimacy. But I've seen it again and again in my practice. Men who felt like they were just getting older finally saw the truth. They weren't failing. Their habits were. So let me ask you, what if the reason your mornings don't feel like they used to isn't aging, but emptiness? What if skipping breakfast is quietly starving your circulation at the exact moment your body needs support the most? In this video, we're going to break it all down. No shame, no judgment, just the science, the real stories, and the tools to help you take back control. And I'll share the 3 small morning habits that can help restore the blood flow you thought was gone for good. Because you haven't lost it, not really. You've just been starting your day in the wrong direction. Let's fix that, together. I'm Dr. Lily Anderson. For over 20 years, I've worked with men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. Men who've quietly watched their confidence fade without ever fully understanding why. Many of them sat in my office thinking it was just age, just part of getting older. But I've seen what really happens when you give the male body the right support at the right time of day, especially in the morning. I'm not here to sell you magic pills. I'm here because I believe deeply in something different. I believe in helping men understand their bodies, not blame them. I believe in giving you back the tools to feel like yourself again, without shame, without pressure, and without confusion. And that starts by exposing one of the most misunderstood moments of your entire day, the first hour after waking up. Because what you do or don't do in that first hour doesn't just affect your energy. It shapes your hormones, your blood flow, and your ability to feel strong and responsive, where it matters most. So in the next few minutes, I'll show you the real science behind morning circulation, especially the kind that supports your masculine health. We'll break down how skipping breakfast can quietly choke off blood flow to your lower body. And more importantly, I'll give you 3 simple, actionable habits that take less than 10 minutes each. Habits that restore your body's natural ability to send blood where it needs to go, without relying on medication or guesswork. You'll learn why your body stops working the way it used to, why some men lose that spark before they even get out of bed, and how to change the script starting tomorrow morning. This isn't about perfection, it's about timing. It's about support. It's about reclaiming the version of you that still exists under the surface and helping it come back online. If you've ever felt like something's been missing or that you're not quite yourself anymore, I want you to know this. You're not broken. You're not done. You're just out of rhythm. And today, we're going to get that rhythm back. Now that we've pulled back the curtain on why your mornings might not feel the way they used to, let's talk about what to do instead. Because the truth is, your body still wants to work for you. It just needs a better start to the day. There are 3 simple morning habits I've used with hundreds of my patients. Habits that support blood flow, nitric oxide, hormonal rhythm, and energy right from the moment you wake up. These aren't extreme changes. They're small, natural shifts that help your circulation come back online, especially in the areas where it's most needed. Let's go through each of them, one by one. Habit number 1, eat something within 60 minutes of waking. This one is simple, but it's where most men go wrong. I can't tell you how many patients come to me saying, "I'm just not hungry in the morning," or "I like to wait until lunch to eat." And while that might sound harmless, from a vascular standpoint, it's a disaster. Here's why. In the first 60 minutes after waking up, your body enters what's known as the prime circulation window. Your testosterone levels are peaking, your cortisol is naturally elevated, and your endothelial system, the inner lining of your blood vessels, is primed to receive nutrients that support nitric oxide production. When you skip breakfast, you're sending a signal that there's no fuel coming. Cortisol rises even more. Your blood vessels begin to constrict. And nitric oxide, it stays flatlined. That's why men who skip breakfast often feel cold in their hands and feet, foggy in the head, and completely unresponsive below the waist. But eating a small, balanced meal, something as simple as a hard-boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast, or a bowl of oatmeal with berries, can flip that entire hormonal switch. Take one of my patients, Richard. He's 69, a retired firefighter. He was skipping breakfast every day and said he hadn't had a firm erection in over 6 months. We added one simple rule: eat something light within an hour of waking. That's it. 3 weeks later, he told me, "Doc, I don't know if it's coincidence, but I woke up with a full salute this morning." It wasn't coincidence. It was biology. Habit number 2. Prioritize foods that boost nitric oxide production. Once you've made the decision to eat, what you eat becomes just as important. The second habit is choosing foods that actively increase nitric oxide, the molecule your body uses to dilate blood vessels and send blood to the pelvic region. Without enough nitric oxide, even the best hormone levels and the strongest heart won't help where it counts. So, what foods do the job? Let's start with beets. This humble root is one of nature's richest sources of dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. One study published in Hypertension found that beet juice increased blood vessel dilation within just a few hours of drinking it. Another favorite is spinach. Just 2 cups of raw spinach blended into a smoothie or added to scrambled eggs can deliver over 800 milligrams of natural nitrates. That's enough to meaningfully improve flow to the legs and groin. Then, there's oatmeal. Yes, the kind your grandfather probably ate. Steel-cut oats are rich in beta-glucans, a type of fiber that not only lowers cholesterol, but improves blood vessel elasticity. When topped with berries and chia seeds, you've created a circulation powerhouse. Berries, especially blueberries and pomegranate seeds, are loaded with anthocyanins, plant compounds that protect nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly. And chia seeds? When soaked overnight, they form a gel-like coating that hydrates your digestive system and delivers a slow, steady release of plant-based omega-3s. The combination of these foods doesn't just help blood flow once. When eaten consistently, they retrain your endothelial function, reduce inflammation, and rebuild the nitric oxide response that aging slowly takes away. One patient, Tony, 63 years old, accountant, sedentary lifestyle, started adding beet juice and a bowl of oatmeal with berries to his mornings. 6 weeks later, not only was he walking further without fatigue, but he admitted with a grin, "My wife asked what I've been eating." I told her, "Breakfast." habit number 3. Avoid fake efficiency. Foods that disrupt circulation. This one's important, because even if you start eating in the morning and even if you include a nitrate-rich food or two, your progress can still be sabotaged by one mistake: choosing foods that feel convenient but damage blood flow. What are we talking about here? Number 1 on the list: refined carbohydrates, white toast, sugary cereal, pastries. These cause a rapid spike in blood sugar followed by a crash. That crash triggers stress hormones, weakens blood vessel tone, and reduces testosterone production. Next, coffee alone. While coffee itself can have benefits, drinking it on an empty stomach in the morning leads to a cortisol spike without any supportive nutrients to buffer its effects. That means more constricted arteries, less nitric oxide, and a feeling of tension instead of vitality. Finally, processed breakfast meats. Sausage, bacon, even turkey strips. These are often loaded with sodium and preservatives that stiffen arteries and drive up blood pressure. One study found that high-sodium breakfasts reduced blood flow velocity for up to 5 hours after eating. What should you do instead? Build your breakfast around what I call the circulation trio: fiber, healthy fat, and natural nitrate. That could look like steel-cut oats with chia seeds and pomegranate, 2 eggs with sautéed spinach and a slice of avocado, Greek yogurt with berries and a few walnuts. It doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be intentional. And if time is tight, try what my patient Dave does. He preps a smoothie the night before: spinach, banana, blueberries, soaked chia, and almond milk. Each morning, he just grabs it from the fridge, shakes it, and goes. He told me, "I used to think smoothies were for gym guys. Now I see them as morning medicine." In the next section, we'll look at a real-life case study that shows exactly how these habits change lives. You'll meet a man who felt invisible in his own body until he made a few small changes before 8 a.m. Let's talk about Thomas. Thomas was 67 when he first came to see me. He was tall, quiet, the kind of man who'd worked with his hands most of his life. A former electrician, retired after 4 decades on the job. He wore the kind of strength that comes from years of doing, building, fixing. But that day, he looked tired. Not just in his face, his whole posture had a kind of heaviness to it, like he was dragging himself through life. I asked him how he was feeling, and he paused longer than most men do. "I'm okay," he finally said. Then after a breath, "I think I'm just not waking up right anymore." He didn't mean sleep. He meant mornings, the energy, the drive, the spark. He said he used to feel alert, powerful, ready, but now it's like nothing down there even stirs, he said, almost embarrassed. He hadn't had a firm morning erection in over 8 months. He didn't feel pain, just emptiness. A kind of numbness he couldn't explain. His legs felt sluggish, especially climbing stairs. His motivation was fading. But the worst part, he thought it was normal. "I figured it's just part of being old," he said. "My father went through the same thing. But lately, I don't feel like me. And I don't like that." I asked him about his routine, and sure enough, like many men his age, he skipped breakfast entirely. A cup of coffee, black, no sugar, was all he allowed himself until nearly noon. "It keeps me light," he said, "and I've never been a breakfast guy." But what he didn't know, what almost no one tells men like Thomas, is that his morning habits were setting him up to fail, long before the day even started. I explained the role of nitric oxide testosterone rhythm and the critical first hour of the morning when the body is most primed to circulate blood where it needs to go. I told him that skipping breakfast might feel efficient, but it was silently shutting down his vascular response. I assured him he wasn't broken. His body just needed different instructions. So we made a simple deal. For the next 4 weeks, he would eat a small breakfast within 45 minutes of waking. Nothing extreme. Just a bowl of steel-cut oats topped with blueberries and walnuts. And instead of black coffee on an empty stomach, he'd drink warm green tea, something gentle with compounds that protect his blood vessels. He was skeptical. "You really think oatmeal is going to fix this?" he asked. I smiled. "I think your body knows how to fix itself. I'm just giving it a nudge." Week 1 passed with no big change, but by the end of week 2, he noticed something. His legs didn't feel as heavy. He felt warmer when he got out of bed, and he started sleeping more deeply. In week 3, something happened that made him call me, something he hadn't felt in months. He woke up with a gentle, steady firmness, not forced, not fantasy-driven, just there, natural, alive. "I didn't realize how much I missed that feeling," he said. "It's not even about sex. It makes me feel like I still work." By week 4, he was smiling more. His energy returned. He was taking morning walks again, something he hadn't done in over a year, and his mood, sharper, less fog, less frustration. What changed? Just one meal, at one time, every morning. No medication, no drastic life overhaul, just a decision to nourish his body at the exact moment it needed support. Thomas's story isn't rare. I've seen this same quiet transformation in hundreds of men. The mistake is thinking you've lost your strength, when really you've just stopped feeding it. And maybe you, watching this now, are feeling the same thing Thomas once did. That quiet absence, that slow fading. You don't have to live like that. You don't need to accept the decline, because your body is still listening, and it only takes one small act, done consistently, to start the process of coming back. Now that you've heard Thomas's story, maybe you're wondering, what's really going on inside the body? Why would something as simple as eating breakfast change your circulation, your energy, even your ability to wake up with firmness again? Let's break it down together. When you sleep, your body enters a repair mode. It cools down, your heart rate slows, and your blood vessels relax. This is when hormones like testosterone are produced at their highest levels. It's also when nitric oxide, the molecule that controls blood flow, builds up and gets ready to do its job. Think of nitric oxide as your body's internal traffic officer. It tells your arteries, "Open up, we've got nutrients and oxygen to deliver." It doesn't just affect your heart or your brain. It affects your legs, your pelvic floor, and yes, your ability to achieve and maintain a healthy erection. But here's the thing. By the time you wake up, your nitric oxide reserves are fragile. They're ready, but they need fuel to stay active. Now imagine you wake up and give your body nothing. No food, no hydration, just a cup of coffee and a to-do list. What happens? Your body senses stress. Your cortisol, your stress hormone, spikes higher than it should. Cortisol's job is to help you survive, not to help you thrive. It narrows your blood vessels. It tells your body to hold on to fat, reduce testosterone, and prepare for scarcity. It says, "There's no fuel coming. Shut things down." That includes the circulation to your groin, which is one of the first systems the body deprioritizes when it's under pressure. Let's use an image to make this clearer. Imagine your blood vessels are like garden hoses. In the morning, they're coiled up, cold and a bit stiff. When you eat the right food, foods high in natural nitrates, fiber, or antioxidants, it's like gently turning on the water and warming the hose. It starts to uncoil, soften, and allow steady flow. But when you skip breakfast, that hose stays stiff. The pressure builds up in the wrong places. Instead of nourishing flow, you get tension, constriction, a body that feels sluggish and distant from itself. Now let's talk about the key players in this process. First, nitric oxide, or NO. This isn't a supplement or a drug. It's a gas your body makes naturally. Its job is to relax the inner walls of your blood vessels so that blood can flow freely. As you age, your ability to produce nitric oxide drops. That's normal, but it's not irreversible. You can boost NO naturally by eating nitrate-rich foods like spinach, beets, and black beans. And the best time to eat those? Right when your body is asking for them, within that first hour of waking. Next, we have ENOS, short for endothelial nitric oxide synthase. That's the enzyme your body uses to convert those dietary nitrates into nitric oxide. Think of eNOS as the chef in your kitchen. You give it the ingredients and it cooks up the nitric oxide you need. But what happens when you skip breakfast? You give the chef an empty fridge. Nothing to work with. No nutrients, no fuel, no delivery of nitric oxide to the pelvic region. The kitchen stays cold and the job never gets done. Now let's not forget about testosterone. Testosterone is highest in the early morning. That's one reason why men often wake up with an erection. It's not just a signal of desire. It's a biological indicator of health, blood flow, and hormone balance. But here's what's important. Testosterone needs healthy blood vessels to do its job. It doesn't act alone. Without strong circulation, even high testosterone can't create results where you want them. And remember cortisol? That stress hormone we talked about? When cortisol stays too high in the morning, thanks to skipping breakfast or drinking black coffee on an empty stomach, it suppresses testosterone. That's why so many men who feel wired but tired also feel flat, numb, or disconnected in the bedroom. Their hormones are out of sync. Their bodies are running on defense mode. But when you eat a simple, nourishing breakfast, say oats with berries and walnuts, you lower cortisol naturally. You stabilize your blood sugar, you support nitric oxide. You turn your system from tension to readiness. Let me share one more quick story. One of my patients, 61 years old, used to start his mornings with only coffee and a slice of toast. No protein, no color, no real fuel. He was tired, flat, and deeply frustrated with himself. "I'm doing all the right things," he told me, but his mornings said otherwise. I asked him to add just 2 things, a half cup of black beans and a soft-boiled egg. Within 3 weeks, his morning energy returned. He told me he felt a kind of lightness, less dragging, more presence. And yes, his firmness returned too. That wasn't magic. It was circulation. It was science. It was the quiet power of breakfast done right. And here's the best part. These systems, the nitric oxide, the ENOS enzyme, the testosterone rhythm, they're not broken in you. They're just waiting for the right signal. And that signal doesn't come from a pill. It comes from your fork. If you've ever looked at your plate in the morning and thought, does this even matter? Now you know. Yes, it matters. Not just for your heart, not just for your energy, but for the part of you that wants to feel like yourself again, to wake up ready, to know that the man you used to be is still there, just waiting to be fed. In the next section, I'll help you take that first step. Nothing complicated, nothing overwhelming, just one simple action you can take tomorrow morning to start bringing your circulation and your confidence back online. Let's do this together. If you've made it this far, that already tells me something important about you. You care. You're not just watching this to pass time. You're looking for something real, something honest, something that actually helps. Maybe you've been feeling like your mornings aren't what they used to be. Maybe you've quietly accepted the changes in your body, thinking, this is just part of aging. But deep down, you still wonder, what if there's more I can do? There is. And it doesn't start with a massive lifestyle overhaul. It doesn't require you to buy expensive supplements, download complicated diet plans, or flip your whole world upside down. It starts with one small choice tomorrow morning. Just one. Not perfection, just progress. Maybe that means you prepare a bowl of oatmeal tonight so it's ready when you wake up. Maybe you add a handful of blueberries and soak a spoonful of chia seeds in almond milk before bed. Maybe you switch your black coffee for a cup of warm green tea just for one day, just to see how it feels. These are not heroic acts. They are simple, gentle messages you send to your body. Messages that say, I'm still here. I still want to feel good. I still believe I can change. And let me tell you something I've learned after working with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. The body listens. It may take time. It may take patience. But it listens. It remembers how to heal. It remembers how to circulate blood, how to feel desire, how to rise in the morning, not just physically, but emotionally. And once it starts responding, the shift is hard to ignore. I had a patient, Jeffrey, 72 years old. For years, he felt invisible in his own life. He stopped trying. He said his reflection didn't look like someone who belonged in his own skin. I didn't give him a long list of instructions. I gave him one assignment: eat one real breakfast every morning for 2 weeks. Something with color, something with fiber, something his heart and circulation would recognize. By the second week, he came into my office, sat down, and smiled. "I'm not all the way back," he said, "but I'm finally facing the day. I feel like I have a say in how I age." That's it. That's the shift. You don't need to get everything right today or tomorrow, but you can start showing up for yourself again in small, consistent ways. And breakfast is the perfect place to begin because it's repeatable, it's visible, it's intimate. You control it. It's a message you send to your future self every morning. I choose to support you. And when you do that, day after day, things start to change. You walk up the stairs with less hesitation. You sleep more soundly. You feel more alert at 10 a.m. You look in the mirror and notice something in your eyes that wasn't there before. A spark, a presence, a kind of quiet confidence returning. That spark? That's not from a pill bottle. That's from showing up for yourself. So here's what I want you to do, starting tomorrow. Don't aim to fix everything. Just pick one action from this video. 1. Eat a real breakfast. Choose a better drink. Add one blood flow food. That's it. Then do it again the next day. And again the day after that. Let that rhythm build. Let it carry you. Because every step you take from here, even the smallest one, is a step back toward the man you remember being. And more importantly, the man you still are. If this video spoke to something inside you, if even one moment made you pause and think, yes, that's me, then I want to say this to you from the heart. You are not alone. What you're going through isn't rare. It isn't shameful. And it isn't permanent. Too many men suffer in silence, thinking they're the only ones losing strength, losing confidence, losing that vital part of themselves in the quiet hours of the morning. But I can tell you, after 20 years in practice, there are millions of men, just like you, asking the same questions, feeling the same confusion, wanting answers but not judgment, wanting solutions but not sales pitches. This space, this channel, is here for that reason, to give you truth, to give you tools, to give you hope, grounded in science and delivered with care. So if you're ready to take the first step, and I believe you are, drop a 1 in the comments below. Just that, one keystroke, one signal that says, I'm showing up for myself. And if something felt unclear or if you have a question, write 0 and tell me what you need. I read every single comment, not because of numbers, but because this is a conversation. And I want to hear your voice. You never know who else will read what you write and feel a little less alone because of it. If this video helped you, please share it with someone else who needs it. A brother, a friend, a man who might never search for a solution himself, but will listen if it comes from you. And if you want more science-backed, shame-free strategies like this every week, hit subscribe. There's so much more I want to share with you about food, circulation, hormones, and everything that keeps you strong where it matters most. Because this isn't the end of your story. This is your next chapter. Your mornings still belong to you. And it all starts with breakfast. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.